All right, so today we're going to have a short little workshop and introduction to using Facebook, particularly for promotions regarding the Great Southern Bioblitz. And we've got Michelle Neal helping us out with this, who's the social media person for AXA Australia. So she does a lot of social media engagement and has taught many of us a lot of the things that we know about social media. So she'll be talking today about Facebook, be talking about how to make posts with Canva, how to schedule posts, and how to judge when to schedule posts and share them. There's been a lot of changes on Facebook. It seems to be regularly changing. So we've delayed this, and I've been told, well, because Michelle's got to get used to these changes, and I've been told by Michelle there's actually been more changes today. So be aware this is a guide. And that changes do occur from time to time, and you've got to be careful. Like a few months ago, I had posts set up for a substantial period, and they changed everything, and I lost them all. So it's probably wise not to get too excited with these scheduling of posts too far in advance. But Michelle knows much more about this than I do, so I'm going to let her talk all about it today. So it's away to you, Michelle.
Thanks, Stephen. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle, and as Stephen pointed out, I'm the social media moderator for the Australian Citizen Science Association as a volunteer. I've also been helping out with Great Southern Bioblitz stuff as well. I'm one of the original organisers of Great Southern Bioblitz. My iNaturalist name is Dragonette. Feel free to tag me on it, iNat. So let's get stuck into this, shall we? Let me just share my screen. I'm going to do basically today a compare and comparison as well against Great Southern Bioblitz versus AXA, Australian Citizen Science Association, just to show you what something like Great Southern Bioblitz, which literally is in its infancy, we've only been around for just over a year now, compared to AXA, which has been around for 6 or 7 years now. So let's jump into Great Southern Bioblitz. If you want to make a page, you'll have to go into, first of all, you have to go into your profile, and under the 3 dots here, there's usually a activity log, etc., profile tagging. You can actually go into manage sections and everything, and there is I can't remember where it is because they've changed it, but there will be a section here that says how to make another make a page. As Facebook keeps changing this, I suggest you Google how to do it when you come to do it, if you haven't already. Okay, let's go back to our normal, where we were before, back into pages, back into Great Southern Bioblitz. Okay, so when you do start a page, you need to have, 2 of the things you need to have is the logo, which you can ask one of us for, and we will happily give you your version. As you can see, there's 3 different versions up here. We've got the English and the Spanish and the Portuguese. This here is our mascot for this year, for 2021, the black-browed albatross, because it circumnavigates the globe, including the Southern Hemisphere. So we'd all be likely to see it. I'm turning that bit off there. Now, if I'm going too fast, please send me a comment or jump into the chat. That's fine. We are recording this at the moment, so there will be, I'm sure, changes by the end of it. One of the things that Facebook is very, very interested in is groups at the moment. So if you have a group with your page, you will probably get more likes and more follows and more people talking about it. And that's the whole idea with Facebook, is to get people talking about it. If we head down the left-hand side here, they've got Business Suite and Newsfeed, Updates, Business Apps, Events, Resources and Tools, Jobs, Notifications, Insights, Ad Center, Page Quality, Edit Page Settings, Page Info, and Settings. Very quickly, Newsfeed is what you would see on your normal Facebook newsfeed as you were scrolling. Updates is anyone who's said anything or or spoken about anything recently. So someone who's liked something or whatever. So news feed, that's what we would see as our normal scrolling. As you can see, that's just where you'd normally scroll. Down here with insights, we can go into and actually see our likes, our followers, our reach, page views, actions on page, etc. So this now has, as of the last couple of days, a brand new insights tool. But let's deal with this page first, and then we'll go into insights. So at the moment, I'm in insights overview. So as you can see here, this is how many page views we've had, and it just does usually the last 7 days, but you can change that here. So let's say in the last month, we've had 223, we've had 44 page likes, we've had the posts reach over 19,000 people, which is great, or users. We can also do stories on Facebook now. This is something they've just started up recently as well. Post engagement, videos, and they do this as 3-second video views. So the 3 seconds is when you're scrolling and it shows you that little bit of a video as you're scrolling. That's your 3-second view as well. And page followers. Now, once upon a time, this page would have also shown you where everyone was from, and also your metrics such as what time people were online and when to post. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened in this latest couple of iterations of these pages, but we're hoping it does at some stage. So here's some of our histories of where we're actually reaching and engaging. You notice the targeting is grayed out. That's because we're not actually targeting anyway. It's all public. It's everyone. We don't usually target posts at this stage. If, however, you're doing a post for your local area, then you would try and target your local area. Be warned though, sometimes Facebook wants you to pay for that. The types of posts we have here, there's links, there's photos. That's mainly the main 2 types of photo of ones here, plus there's video as well. The reach is how many people have seen it. Organic means that you have not paid or advertised for this post to be seen by other people. So 1.2 thousand people have just seen this post. That's actually pretty good for a Facebook page that has around 700 followers. That's pretty good. 400 for that one. Okay. Now that we have Perth though in there, we can also try and figure out why this particular post went so well. So if you click on this part here, you can see, 1,168 people were reached with 23 likes and comments. But you can also say how many people clicked the post, viewed the photos, and so forth. But some people will have shared it as well, and others will have seen their share. Okay, so the metrics you get given are not always 100%. They're not always accurate because they are sometimes taking things from other sections as well. So if you do a post, you have 100 people like it and 10 people share it, and all of a sudden you've got 12,000 people looking at your post, it means that those people are being your micro influencers for you and actually showing their friends what you've seen, what they've seen. Okay. All right. That's a little bit how they work. You can also have in here the pages to watch. These pages are pages that are similar to you, posting similar content. At the moment, Great Southern BioBlitz is 5th under Nature Conservation Society, South Coast Environment, Urban Ecology, and Mount Pleasant Natural Resources. Just above Australian tarantulas. So we're at the moment where we're sitting reasonably well. Remember though, we've done 11 posts this week. So these guys have only done 1, but we've got a little bit more engagement than they have. All right, if we head back up the top again, let's try this, see all insights. Now at the moment, this is for me is it's pushed us into the business suite, the new business suite version. And this is all it's showing us. It's showing us basic timeline of when our posts were reached and how many people saw them. Okay. So if you then put that against, that was a Sunday, that was a Tuesday, and then you go into those posts and figure out why people liked it. Maybe it was a particular time you did, maybe it was some other reason. This one here was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We got 3.6 thousand. This one here was at 4 a.m. We got 2.4 thousand. So really it does depend on what your targeted audience is, and also, in our particular case, which language it was in and when people were awake at that time in that particular language group. We can also tell you that 35, our main demographic is 35 to 44-year-old females. It's 19.5% of our audience. You can do age and gender only at this stage. You used to do a lot more things like countries and all the rest of it, but if we go into results up here, that only shows you that first one. Once upon a time, this would have been full, but I'm sure they're working on it. This goes into a bit more data about who liked it, how many comments, how many shares, and how many links were clicked. Biggest to basically smallest, which is quite handy for trying to figure out, okay, so why did this one at 77 didn't do very good, but we still had 3 clicked links. You can also change up here whether or not you want the ads. If you are advertising, you can take off all the advertising ones. We're not advertising, so it shouldn't make any difference much whatsoever. We just see how it's putting in that costs and results. It just gets rid of a couple more columns, that's all. Now, audience, though, is also where it starts to get interesting. So now we can say that women make up our 19.3 and men probably 25 to 34, 9.5. That's probably our 2 larger demographics for the males and females for age groups. Our largest following is Adelaide in South Australia, followed by Lima, Peru, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Geelong, Canberra, Perth, down to the Gold Coast. Our top countries, now here's where it gets interesting. We are Great Southern BioBlitz, and yet United States and Germany are looking at see what we're doing here as well. So that's quite heartening to see. We do love a little bit of friendly views, absolutely. And we'll see how that develops. Up the top here, they've got current audience, and then they've got potential audience. Potential audience is if you want to create an ad. Again, we don't usually do advertising. We don't really have the budget for that. So all of our stuff is actually organic reach. Over here on the left under Business Suite, we have different activities that everyone's been doing. So how many people have liked, shared, etc. That can get very, very busy to keep reviewing. So I recommend basically ignoring that one. We have an inbox with Facebook comments and Instagram comments, etc. So this could be if you have added your Instagram to Facebook, which seems to be the way that Facebook is going, because Instagram is now owned by Facebook. Then eventually, I believe it's supposed to be a lot more seamlessly integrated, and with the ability to post on one and the other one will post in the same on Instagram. So post on Facebook comes up on Instagram as well. At the moment, that is still a bit clunky. The links and stuff don't always flow seamlessly. The pictures don't always work. When you time something, when you schedule a post, doesn't always work. So treat that one with a little bit of a grain of salt if you can. But I'm told it will get better. So here we have all the posts as well that we've done in the last, at the moment it's lifetime, so last year to now. And as you can see, we can go through all, again, comments, etc. When it says boost post, again, that means it wants you to, do you want to make an advertisement out of this? Do you want to pay us to show it to people? So we tend to not bother about that one either. You do have these ones in here where you can see what's coming up and what's been scheduled to come in. I'll show you how to schedule a post later. And drafts where we haven't actually put them in yet. We've just kind of started them and not really figured out where we're going with them yet. There's a new section now in Facebook called Stories. And Stories, you can actually create a story. So you can have a little bit of a picture, multiple media items. You can add all sorts of stuff to it and make a little video or whatever. And that will show it to your, it appears in the top of your actual feed when you see it. You can also change what it looks like. So you can see from here in feed and grid of what will look like on someone's mobile phone. Okay. Now, just to let you know, Facebook has also recently changed how big a picture needs to be. What we tend to do is we tend to use a product called Canva. Canva is free. And you can actually set up a brand kit and everything else in there, a content planner, and it can actually publish for you. However, I haven't actually tried that one yet with all the ones I do. I'm not sure how well it will work. It's on my to-do list. So you can put everything in folders, but let's say we want to make a Facebook post. It'll actually give you a whole heap of templates and you can go in and choose one. Let's say something like this. We can get rid of the photo we don't want. We can put in something we do, and we just have to upload. And then we can go up here once we've finished organizing everything. So let's say we had a picture like that. You know, you can change things to be where you want them to be, and then you can publish or download. You can change what they're called here. Okay. Back to our business suite. We've also got a list in here as well about the different photos, mobile uploads, Instagram photos, profile pictures, cover photos, timeline photos. Each one of them has a separate size they have to be. And again, Canva is great for that. So in here now, Business Suite also gives you a calendar to see when everything is coming out. So if you want to, schedule something and pull something over here, oh, we've got nothing on Tuesday, you can drag and drop nowadays in here. Okay. I'm not going to do it though, because it's already set up, but you can pull them across and change them around and figure out when you want things to come out. We've already been in the insights, and then they have more tools as well. So you can actually book appointments, not that we use that one, but anyway. There's also billing for if you're selling things through Facebook. Events Manager, which is handy for when we're scheduling events such as this one. Forms for people to fill in, that if you want them to fill in a form, if you want them to say, do you need help with our naturalist? Yes, I do. Fill in this form, and you can do it that way. And page settings. Page settings is one of the more important parts. This actually makes sure that your page is shown properly to people. So whether or not it's visible and who can post. It's also if we can, Facebook now has an option to auto-generate captions for videos as well, which we've turned on. So we're trying to make this as inclusive as possible. We're going to try and target and restrict audience for the posts. It's not as yet, at the moment it's turned off. Profanity filters are turned off, so that needs to be probably turned on. And if you have more than one page and you want to merge them, this is also where you merge those pages. So there's quite a few things in here. We've also got page roles. Now those roles are dependent on, who's doing what. the moment you can see we've got a few people in there as editors, moderators, and admins. So admins have a lot more. They can manage all aspects of the page. We can publish, we can send messenger messages as the page. We can respond and delete comments, post from Instagram to Facebook and vice versa, create ads, see who created things. So you'll actually see if I go into a post later on, who's actually posted it, if it's Stephen or Larissa or myself. And also you can do stuff to, as I said, to and from Instagram as well. Editors are a little bit more, they can publish content and send messages, respond and delete comments and see ads, create ads, but they can't do as many things as the admin can. So admins can add other admins, editors can't. And moderators, our moderator Rod, who can send messages as the page, delete comments, and also see who creates the posts. So there's 3 different levels there. There's actually another level as well, and that is business manager. And I can show you that one in a little while. You can also see in this one what groups we've got and group admins and moderators. And also people and pages. So who's the followers as well, and preferred page audience. Now this one hasn't actually been updated as yet because Facebook can't figure out whether or not we're in a restricted area, whether or not we should be restricting stuff from audiences. I think that's something that's coming. I think they're dealing with Northern Hemisphere first. Okay, there's also branded comments. So you can actually set up branding now here in Facebook as well. So you can have everything come up as particular colors or whatever. You have portfolio, briefs, partnerships, and publishing tools. And you can also have people tag you. You can request to be tagged. You can have people make an ad for you and you can review them. So yeah, that's part of the brand collaboration manager section. So yeah, that's the creator studio. There's quite a few things that Facebook is starting to put into this. We'll have to see where it goes, really. But let's get back to something a little bit easier. Let's get back to Great Southern Bioblitz. So here's our home, back where we started. Okay, as you can see, ads, boosting posts. This is what our feed looks like at the moment. This is our pinned post for the observations of the year. And what's our latest things that we've actually posted. At this moment, we've set up all of our pages identity except for one. We have to introduce the page and everything yet. This is something Facebook does to make sure that we're a real person and not a bot. And it does help with them figuring out, the algorithms figuring out who they're to show your page to. So honestly, the more you set up your page, the better. Down here, we have, where is it? Resources and tools. So in here, there's now all this new stuff about selling gift cards and creating fundraisers and so forth. This is probably not something you're going to need very much unless you're in a COVID area and you want to say, okay, I need to set this up as we've now got COVID in this area. This is now being transformed into a backyard BioBlitz rather than go out and see everything in your local area, do it in your own backyard. This is where you go and change that over to say, hey, we suggest you now do this because of COVID as a backyard BioBlitz. Get your friends out and have fun. So there's a little button there that you can add for that one. Okay. Before I go any further, I'm just going to show you what Australian Citizen Science Association one looks like. So this, once you get over 1,000 followers, you get a slightly different layout. You can add chats. You've got slightly different things down the side here as well. They are basically merging to the same thing, however. This one here is now telling you have to go to Business Suite if you haven't really posted anything. You can post this, but it's an automatic post. They don't always let you post. Let's just do something like that. It's an automatic post. You can't schedule anything this way. So if you want to do an actual post where you let it actually schedule, it becomes a little bit more interesting on how to do that. It's up here in publishing tools now in the Business Suite. So let's say that we want to schedule one. We go up here to create a post. Okay. Add what we need to write in here, add a photo or a video, put in a location. If it's somewhere, you can add a link as well. So if I do this, that's just as an example, we now can schedule that post and say when you want it to go in. It gives you this handy little guide down here, which is a Monday, which is a Tuesday, what time is it, AM or PM? Okay, and hit save, and then you hit publish, and that will schedule it to that particular time. So, all right, I just want to go into the chat and just make sure that there's no questions from anyone at the moment. Is that interesting or is it too heavy? I've been talking for about half an hour, so that's why I want to know. Stephen, any thoughts?
It's good. It's good, Michelle. I like the idea about the calendar. I actually didn't know about that.
It's new.
Yeah, okay. I haven't seen it before. Just posting, and then I have a list of my posts and things. But good. I'm learning a few things as per usual. I've sort of, like I said before, I've Facebook with all the changes and the constant changes. I'm a bit wary about it. I know it's good for reach in Australia anyway, but it's a bit problematic when they change the rules. I will say that the reason why we tend to get a lot of good responses from some of our posts is because of sharing. So you'll notice the one for Perth, there was a lot of responses to that, whereas the one for Zimbabwe, there was not. And that's basically around sites that I personally have access to that I can share it to. I don't have access to too many African sites. So if people want things to be shared, they need to sort of share them themselves. So Antonio does share a lot of stuff to our Facebook group, which is really good. And a lot of it's actually really good stuff. So I do appreciate it. And I on-share that as well, because I think it's really good and worthwhile for us to know about. But a lot of the Australian sites can be quite parochial. They don't like stuff from overseas.
Yeah.
They get quite upset.
Yep. So I will say tagging works wonderfully. We do like to tag people and tag areas where possible, particularly local government areas. And if there's a scout group or something like that that's actually running an area or helping out or whatever, we will try and tag them as well. So if you would like us to put a post up, that's fine on Great Southern BioBlitz, but we'll need to know any tags that you want to tell us about, want us to tag too. So it does add to reach. I believe you can tag, well, some of them I've seen people tag up 20 or 30 on there. Personally, I think any more than 10 is a little bit ridiculous, but you can do wonders with a really well-placed tag. And now also on Facebook, you can do hashtags as well. So for the recent, let me just share screen again. So if we went up here and just hit normal everyday Facebook, and you can actually now search for citizen science posts and how many people are posting about this. if we want to do just a Facebook about Great Southern BioBlitz. Here's who's been posting about that, Stephen. So yeah, hashtags are now possible on Facebook. It hadn't been up to now. A few people are still curling their noses up about having hashtags on there, but we've actually had a few people contact the Australian Citizen Science Association via our Facebook page and say, what's the hashtag? So it's something that's coming through eventually. But at the moment you can hashtag things and it will work. Okay, one of the probably last things I will say before I turn off the recording is, although we don't have insights anymore into when we should post, go through the posts that do make the most sense to you and have got a lot of followers or reach, and figure out why they did it. It's usually three or four different things are factors. Number one, the picture you used. Number two, was it a video or a picture? Have a play around with whether or not the video works better for you or the picture. Usually video does work better because that's the way the algorithms in Facebook work. Do try and share it to your group as well. And that way people will see it and they will share it more. So do the post on your Facebook page, share it to your group of your Facebook page, and then people will like it or dislike it as well. So you'll get more likes that way. The other option too is when you actually posted it. Bearing in mind that we're working with basically local government areas in Great Southern BioBlitz, if you're in that local government area and you're awake at this time and you're scrolling through social media, chances are the people in your local government area are as well. So that's probably should be the time that you post. So try and figure out over a week or so when you're on social media and when your friends are as well, and then that's when you post as your page. That's probably my best bet at this stage until we get more insights from Facebook. All right, I'm going to stop our recording now. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for joining us.